All right. This is not a pursuit, though, right?
It's our guy. He's always a good narrator. He's always pretty pogue. Do, 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 do. They're speeding. Go! Dude, they're smashing. How fast? Can we get a speed limit on this? And they're taking the emergency lane, so you know it's going... like purring like a cat, but in a bad way. Can you hear me purring?
I think we should get on the other side.
Is my other stuff too loud?
Let's get on the other side.
I think you can hear it. Of all the cars to steal, remember, Kias are easy. You can steal it with a USB cord. All you need is a USB cord and a hammer or some shit.
It's California Highway currently.
You break into the lock and then you just strip the thing and put a USB cord in and you're in.
You can see him using that shoulder to get around some of the traffic here. He's been driving.
Of course, Kia has been offering a free repair. So if you do have a Kia or Hyundai, they will add immobilizers. Oh! They're smashing. They're really close. They almost hit that one car. They're not staying very straight.
Right shoulder and driving much faster now in the last few minutes.
Look, they're fixing the radio. Oh no, that's their little thing in the window.
Stolen vehicle. It looks like
only smart thing to do is get to a parking garage.
Seat, but you can clearly see the driver moving around in there, and he has just, I think, gotten off the freeway.
But there's no art in stealing that way. I don't think he's worried about the art. This is not like I don't think he's making a statement against, you know, the political era we're in. And trying to make an artist motif.
Yeah,
on
we're gonna see here how the driving.
The way Kia Souls are easy.
There he goes, right through a red light.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Sense of the behavior here. Because
would you be going to a parking garage, milady?
Really
is that where you would hide out?
Traffic laws. He was basically doing.
Oh, he's going like 60.
The speed limit.
There we go.
And now he's really amped things up. He's been using that right shoulder on the freeway. Now he's running red lights on surface streets. Another red light.
Going
right through the crosswalk here. Again, no regard for anybody's safety.
Just
he's traveling along Hawthorne Boulevard here.
Doesn't even care.
Inglewood as he continues.
Inglewood always up to no good.
Along Hawthorne Boulevard here, you can see him.
Wipe the print and go. You know what's funny is that running the fingerprints is too expensive, so they won't even do that. They'll just confiscate the car and return it.
What's concerning, guys, is that he's starting to drive more dangerously here with
Isn't that wild?
Behind him. Right now, there's very little pressure on this.
I think that's so crazy.
There's no law enforcement anywhere near him as far as we can
tell. There's no cops, but he
sees
sees the choppers, maybe.
There really isn't an effort to get anybody near him. They're basically tracking his movements in case this is escalated again.
Why steer a car in the day?
Right now we're seeing,
bro, people got places to be. People got things to do. What do you mean?
Some of that dangerous driving, so that may come into play as they decide what.
Some places closed, Panda. Some places closed.
Continuing to blow through these red lights along Hawthorne Boulevard here. So this may play into the calculus as
look, Target's right there.
Decide what they want to do here. Now we are sheriff's territory.
See, you gotta go to Target, bro. Sometimes they're having those sales, and you gotta hurry up. You gotta get your towels. You know, gotta get some new shirts.
Now he's making a left turn into the Target area.
He could have made it away by now. He could have.
There, just using that parking lot to cut through onto Rosecrans Avenue.
I was gonna say not every town has like a parking garage, but this is California. It's in Inglewood. There should be a parking garage somewhere, right?
Looked empty. Yeah, no.
Right?
It looked empty as far as we can tell now. Just the driver behind the wheel here as he starts to make his way through Inglewood. Again, actually, Lawndale.
Inglewood always up to no good.
On Washington Avenue now. These are much narrower streets. The speed limit is no more than 25 to 30 miles per hour here, and you can see him still driving.
Like up your gut.
Even more recklessly than before.
Well, eventually, if you go up the butt, you'll hit the gut. So like your butt guy. Beep, beep. Guy drive-throughs open.
Right now,
hey.
Only that helicopter.
Only on weekends. I guess it is Friday, right? Cheers. Let's go.
trying to get the attention of one of these agencies.
Dude wants to get caught.
Again, he has been in and out of numerous jurisdictions, and everybody has basically declined to participate. They just haven't shown a big interest in getting this guy off the road. So
no one. Did you hear that? He's been driven through multiple towns. Nobody wants to chase him. Nobody wants to chase him. He's like, guys, look at me. Come on, beep, beep, beep. I'm a criminal. Chase me. I'm a speeding. I'm breaking the law. And the cops are like, fuck that guy. What is it, a Kia? Fuck that. Kias were so last year.
Sheriff has handed the aerial duties off to California Highway Patrol, and their helicopter is monitoring his movements, maybe just to wait for him to come to a stop, and then they could, figure out what they want to do next. But again, without anybody on the ground there, it's anybody's guess as to whether he's going to get away.
He's getting a little squirrely.
Easy for him to
yeah, I told you they get him out of jail. They gave him a get out of jail free card or something.
Oncoming lanes of traffic. Yep.
The cops are like, he's not worth the energy. No, they literally, bro. This is like, he is literally calling out for attention. He's like, please look at me. Please chase me.
Yeah.
And no one is responding. They're like, all right, just get the chopper on him. You guys see him in the chopper? All right. Let us know when he stops, and we'll send somebody out there. Yeah,
you can see all the red.
All right, boys, are we doing burgers for lunch? I think burgers sound good today, guys.
It's becoming a more.
We had steaks yesterday.
So we'll have to wait and see if they change their mind. If any of these jurisdictions change their mind.
Oh my God!
At the rate he's going, somebody is destined to get hurt here.
That's pretty much how I feel. Like they're like, all right, everybody.
Every indication.
He'll stop eventually. We got the chopper on him. Jeffrey and the chopper are on him. What are we doing for lunch? Pizza? I want nuggies? You guys are too much. We're doing burgers today. As the chief, we do a burger. If they got nuggies or anything else, you guys can order that.
Maybe not. Maybe he's tracking this online. That's always a possibility. But
he's tracking the chase online.
He's doing about 50 miles per hour down Surface Street.
Oh, I have a bacon burger in the fridge, burb.
It really. Sorry, stand by, guys. It just really, it's scary.
Bro, this guy is really dangerous, though. Did you see that? That is actually kind of fucked. He's blowing through these stop signs. That's one of the only fears I really got. Blowing through a stop sign or a red light, because that's really dangerous. Because you can catch somebody, or somebody can catch you. Like, see, look, like, that's what I'm saying. If people aren't paying attention, I'll take somebody to be looking at their text message.
A really wild move right there.
Yeah.
As he makes his way now westbound on Imperial Highway. He's paralleling the 105 freeway here. We'll see if he finds an opportunity to get on the freeway. No, he's going to a McDonald's parking lot. Another parking lot. No real reason to cut through here. He had Imperial Highway basically to himself, coming around the wrong way through the drive-through to come out onto Hawthorne Boulevard. Now northbound Hawthorne Boulevard here as he continues to meander through here. Again, to your point, David, these all really appear to be last-minute random decisions. And look at him just weaving across these surface streets. He's not getting away from anybody. He's just, creating a hazard for himself and for everybody around him. But there's really no pressure on him. You can't overestimate just how reckless this is and how senseless it is, because there's just nobody that's really a threat to him. Again, unless he's putting on a show for somebody else, if he's streaming this or if he's, enjoying tracking him.
Bro, they're saying he's a streamer.
What is the mental capacity of this driver?
They're saying streamer brain rot. They're saying streamer brain rot. Hey, yo. Yo, Banksy has made has made a statement on these guys.
Exactly right. Now
Guy, was that you?
High speeds into oncoming lanes of traffic down Lennox
I mean, this
Boulevard,
was hours ago.
Really ramping things
I was in a hurry to stream, guys. I had to get home. You know, I was running late.
In just a minute, but you can see him now speeding, going the wrong way on Lennox Boulevard. If you right now, you can see there's nobody coming in his direction, but that could.
I wanted to rush and catch it and see if we were still on TV.
Southbound Prairie. Southbound Prairie.
I'm back. Welcome back,
all
Panda.
Of that traffic.
How's the sandwich?
8th Street continuing now.
How's the
Southbound
sandwich?
Prairie Avenue. Now he's doing a circle in this area. He's going to complete a giant loop as he approaches the 105 freeway. He's going to come back towards Imperial Highway.
Bro, what is he doing?
We are looking north. He's traveling southbound along Prairie Avenue, and you now see the windshield wipers coming on. So what's going on in his head is really an open question mark. Is he under the influence?
Bro's driving against traffic. Bro, he doesn't give a fuck.
Look at these wild right turns. I'm sorry, that was a left turn, a wild left turn there for no reason at all. And that helicopter right there is the only law enforcement that has eyes on this suspect.
Look at him.
Inches.
What's up, nerd? Is this live? It was live. We missed it.
Oh,
by like an hour.
Almost ran into that car.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Oncoming lanes there. You see almost a head-on collision there.
Yeah, this guy don't care.
Now he's back onto Yukon Avenue, going back in the northbound.
You know what's funny though? I can smell
is
the cops refused to chase this guy.
No idea what is going through.
He went through like 3 different towns and nobody wants to chase him.
No good reason.
The sheriff just sent their chopper and they're like, ah.
I can't believe that we aren't seeing any.
We got him.
Just a really
is this a news chopper? Yeah.
The 3rd or 4th close call.
So like in Vegas here, we have 2 police choppers, and I don't know how many news choppers.
Continuing northbound Yukon through that red light. Now he's just
so the police chopper doesn't show their feed. You know, they're just waiting for him to pull over. Boring cops. Bro, but this guy doesn't give a shit though. We need GTA style cops. This guy's driving like he's on GTA. This is how I drive on GTA. Get out of the way, bitch. Except I'm smashing through there.
I can't imagine why he'd be, doing this.
Yeah.
He's going to get himself hurt.
You don't see any units.
And on collisions from the cops.
I don't see any. So it doesn't look like they're kind of staging to prepare to take this guy down. So he's just flat out there all by himself. Look at that.
He could have gotten away 56 times by now.
What
do you think? Is the parking garage the only way? Wouldn't they see him walking out?
He's back in the correct lanes of traffic, but you can see this Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I've seen him in the Fast and the Furious. Dominic Dorito does that. He parks his RX-7 in the parking garage. Yeah, he's the only guy walking out of the parking garage, so the cops are like,
please. To get on the freeway. In fact, even on the 405, he was encountering a little bit of traffic, and that may be why he decided to pull off. Now he's pulling.
I would exit the city. Yeah, but sheriff has just got their chopper on you. What do you do then? Because sheriff can call any county and get him to chase you.
That might even be the same target. He might
even personally would go to the airport.
No, that's a Costco. It's a different.
They can't fly by the airport, as far as I know. That's the only place you can go.
Costco shopping center. And if they had units in the area,
go to the airport and hope planes are taken off, because then they gotta stay clear.
Look at this wild driving through.
Nah, I'm not saying I have experience with that.
I should say, with lots of people walking around, you can see him.
Shit tons of cops at airports, though.
He's going to end up back on Yukon.
Yeah, but the airspace is like a big.
Look at that, over the curb, jumping the curb through the bush there, and now back onto surface streets, coming out.
Airspace restriction is a wider area, though. You don't have to go into the airport. You just have to go by there and try to lose them. Driving through there.
Flying through a Costco parking
he pulled in front of them. Big buildings earlier. He could have ditched the car and then the car.
It's really incredible to watch his recklessness.
He could have ditched the car and then the car.
You have to contemplate in order to decide whether to bring this guy, to try to arrest this guy because it's so dangerous.
Oh my God!
I mean, after a while, you have no choice. There was a clear decision made earlier on, especially by the sheriff's department, to just let this go. Besides the fact that they knew it was a stolen vehicle, he really wasn't driving that unsafe. And that all changed in the last 10 minutes.
Wow.
We are watching an entirely different pursuit than how this all started. It was a pursuit under the LAPD jurisdiction for a short time, and then they handed it off to the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department helicopter was watching this guy for a while, and eventually they decided, you know what? This is just not worth it. They handed it off to the CHP to watch from above.
This is just not worth it.
The entire time that we have been on the air.
Wow.
This was in pursuit mode at one point by LAPD, but that is at least a half hour ago. And now
LAPD was down for the chase.
Dangerous situation as
he's stuck in traffic. He's stuck in traffic. California traffic wins.
On this busy Crenshaw Boulevard
he's on Crenshaw Boulevard.
Of what's coming up behind them. Look at this. He is really threading the needle here.
He's trying. He's doing his best.
Inches of some of these innocent motorists.
Look at him.
All for what? For nothing. The big question
on Crenshaw.
is why. Why is he doing this?
Bro, nobody knows why.
Is he continuing this joyride? You know,
we're just watching a driving simulator. Well, no, we're watching a live GTA simulator.
There really is just no rationale for what we're
because we're like, bro, for real, this is how I drive in GTA.
Hard to watch this because we
just
know
pedal to the metal.
Being put in danger. This is a lot of eyewitness news.
But it's not like the cops are gonna stop me for running a red light. They only stop me for murdering someone or running into them.
And watching your coverage of this, Chris and David, and
you know, he's just having
really
fun.
Dangerous.
Look at the speed.
Desperate to get away.
Look at the speed.
Where is he going? And who is he running from?
We are the NPCs. This dude's playing a game.
To himself and everybody
we
else.
are. He is the main character.
I mean, you wonder he could probably just stop.
He's
the car
fucking
and walk
CJ
away.
from the
Nobody is
damn
around to
fucking.
arrest him, but he's not doing that.
Right. That's
From
exactly
Grand Theft
right.
Auto.
He can absolutely walk away from this if he
God
wanted
damn
to,
it, CJ!
Instead, the moves he's pulling, it's almost as if he's living out some video game
Oh
fantasy.
my god.
I mean, that's what this is like. I mean, look at the speeds he's doing. He's doing about
Bro, he's
65
smashing
miles
against
per hour
traffic.
down 108th Street here in South LA. We are in Inglewood.
Yeah.
And he is driving like
Man,
a madman through these
Dr. Dre was right. Inglewood always up to no good. Look at that.
Nothing. I mean, really.
Dr. Dre was right.
I can't make any sense out of this, but he must be having the time of his life because he is.
He said he must be having the time of his
really
life.
Erratic moves for no apparent reason.
Bro, he knows.
Yeah, we often skirt by.
Man must be
we
thinking he's the best getaway
so
driver.
dangerous.
Bro, he must be. He's like, bro,
it's remarkable.
I lost these cops like hours ago. They don't even know who I am.
And casualties then often happen, but one of these days we're not going to say that this could be it.
Oh my God.
If this guy continues to drive the way he's driving, flying through red lights, wrong side of the road.
Well, that's just the
stop
real.
signs, in the middle of rush hour.
Yeah. Like if other drivers weren't paying attention, he would be dead. He would be dead.
Time is limited.
Poor guy, he probably feels offended. The cops don't think he's worth it. No, that's what I'm saying, milady.
Just increases, and
like this is like a giant cry for help. He's hoping people call the cops on him. Like look at him.
But there have been several close.
Like look at him. There's nobody chasing him except demons. He's fighting ghosts. He's running away from ghosts. So he's trying to get the attention, but they don't chase him. He wants to go down in a blaze of fire.
David and Giovanni,
they could care less.
The catch-22
like you thought he was depressed before. Oh, he is feeling it now.
The reason they pull back.
I'd be surprised that he doesn't just go down the pier and go into the ocean. Just ride it out into the ocean.
If somebody gets hurt, there's a major lawsuit, and all of a sudden the
department. He watched the movie Baby.
On the other hand, when they pull back and the driving continues at this dangerous
pace, what's the timestamp now?
But to get involved,
we are about halfway through.
Somebody getting hurt,
but it's going to stop, I believe, in a couple of minutes.
It is such a dangerous.
He's going to try to do. I think he's going to try to take your advice and try to lose everybody.
They're left with no choice, and that's what we're seeing here, where you have multiple law enforcement agencies that are looking at this, weighing out the pros and the cons, and trying to figure out, is it worth it? Is it worth it to the pedestrians and the motorists on the road there? Is it worth it to put the department in that liability? Or is it, there's no right or wrong answer sometimes. It's really a judgment call on the part of the supervisors and the watch commanders to decide when to pursue these vehicles and when to pull back. And each agency in the metro area has a different policy, by the way. So these are not easy cut and dry decisions, but you see a driver like this with nobody behind him and the kind of driving driving that we're seeing.
It's wild.
And it becomes a much scarier
LA department's so scared of getting sued. No! LA was the only one chasing them.
Why it was initiated?
And then they moved to another county, and LA called the sheriff, and the sheriff was like, all right, LA, back up. This guy's not even worth it. And the guys in LA are like,
LAPD initially tried to pull this
are you sure?
over.
Yeah.
He was wanted for GTA. This is a Grand Theft Auto suspect. That white Kia believed to be stolen.
LA cops are Grand Theft Auto cops. They were down. The sheriff was like, nah.
The wide shot while we try and triangulate here up the 110.
This is literally GTA. It is literally GTA.
Through South LA, but it started in LAPD's jurisdiction. They eventually
just waiting for gas to run out. Dude, gas, depending how full it is, can last a while, man.
And then
well, you don't think about it, but you know
what? This is just not worth it.
In a little Kia, if it was like full,
it's a stolen vehicle,
you can go for a couple hours.
Safe enough that he wasn't posing a major
shit,
risk.
Those Kias get good mileage. Yeah, that's just saying.
And that has changed completely in the last few minutes since we have been on the air. We are watching a much different situation play out here, such that if this continues at this pace and at these speeds with this kind of driving, somebody will get hurt. And so they're faced with an impossible decision. Again, going the correct way here. He's on a very narrow street here.
He is smashing.
Paralleling the 110 freeway.
Okay, we're waiting for him to get bored or hungry, man. Yes.
But this is one of those situations.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
If he's going to do anything right now, we would love to see him end up on the freeway. That would be the best case for everybody because it's just a safer situation. You don't have pedestrians. You don't have so many other variables where somebody can, I mean, obviously people could get hurt in any, either way. Now he's under the freeway, under the 110 freeway. We'll see. He's coming out the other side. He's now.
Oh, is he gonna do the under the bridge thing?
West side. He's westbound. Did he just go?
I didn't see him come out. Maybe he's stopping under the freeway.
Did he not come out?
He's doing the under the bridge thing.
He's still under.
He might be.
We've seen that
oldest trick in the book. Oldest trick in the book. If he decides to dump the vehicle under that
there
freeway and walk out, we'll see if he comes out.
Oh no! Come on, bro!
No, the wrong way. This is a surface street. This is a street that parallels the 110 freeway.
You had him. You had him.
Narrow service street.
You had him.
He's gonna.
No, he could have got away.
There's a few dead ends over here.
Yeah, I know, Milady. I thought he was doing the thing.
Into a cul-de-sac or something like that. He's got the window.
FYI, I saw this dude's 100% playing out his fantasies.
But he still has those windshield wipers.
100%.
Might be on the phone.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yes.
100%.
That's probably why he hasn't stopped those windshield wipers from moving, because his hands are occupied. One's on the steering wheel, the other one's on his phone. And yeah,
you
he's
might
busy.
be able to see better than me, David. Is he looking at the phone or is he
on and off?
He looks like he's moving. I don't know if that's.
The first shot, the one where he got a good shot, he was definitely thumbing something on his phone.
He's streaming.
And
that's what they're saying.
At the same time.
The news people now have streamer brain rot. This dude's 100% playing out his fantasies.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's calling? I don't know. Maybe he's looking for somewhere to go.
This is purely
because he can't go home.
An impact that he made during the course.
And he's probably like,
for all I know,
what do you do if a chopper's chasing you?
That's not his vehicle, so.
What do you mean? If a helicopter's chasing you and you don't want it to chase you anymore, what do you do?
Of him actually coming in contact with
I don't know, man. You go really fast and wait for the stars to go down. Not in GTA, in real life.
Southwest division of LAPD's jurisdiction, just to the west of the 110 freeway. I'm sorry, southeast division, I should say, southeast.
Okay.
Pardon me. Still, though,
no
sign of any black and whites, but what you do see here is a lot of people crossing the road, going about their day without any anticipation of this guy flying down these narrow streets here, once again, crossing Avalon Boulevard with cross traffic, continuing to speed through these residential neighborhoods. And at this point,
he's calling Lester to clear his wanted level.
Chris, right? But I did want to ask you, so no black and whites tailing him, but what about the chopper? Is there a law enforcement chopper overhead?
Yeah, California Highway Patrol still has eyes on him. They are still calling out the location. And back at dispatch, there is back at the back.
This guy's blowing stop
the,
signs. That's
station,
wild.
Somebody is watching and ready to make that decision. You have multiple jurisdictions, though. You have California Highway Patrol. They're watching this very carefully. They have a helicopter over the suspect. You also have LA County Sheriff's Department with their own decision makers at the helm. They're watching it go through their jurisdiction. And then you have LAPD, who is watching this madman drive through the streets of Southeast LA in LAPD's jurisdiction. So you have any number of agencies here on top of some of the smaller ones that we've traveled through, like Inglewood just a moment ago, where anybody can make a decision to engage with the suspect, get units in the area, try and set up for a spike strip if they have the opportunity. There you see, he's rolled up that window. He's got the phone in his hand, the phone in his right hand, using his left hand to steer the vehicle, making wild, random turns, continuing as he goes over the double yellow lines here. A whole line of traffic on 92nd Street at a red light. And you can see traffic is starting to pick up here as he makes his way down, going the wrong way on 92nd. Folks going over to make way for this guy as he continues to.
All it takes is one person to be having a really bad day and not give a fuck. Stop this guy. It is dead in his track. You want to drive against traffic? You want to drive against traffic? You want to fire me?
Without anybody's safety in mind here. This is just so dangerous.
And traffic is only going to get worse. It's what, just a few minutes after 5 p.m. on a Friday?
Holy shit.
A lot more people will be hitting the roads in their cars on their commute home.
He's busy.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally he's found some empty roads, but overall, there's a lot of traffic out on this Friday.
Yeah, bro, what is he going to do?
Occasionally countering that.
Where are you going to go?
Traffic. And in this position, he's actually forced to stop. Look at him.
Oh! We got
getting out, dumping the vehicle in the middle of the street.
Or she.
It's a woman.
Oh,
it's
shit!
A woman jumping out of the vehicle with a backpack, now running.
She's running for it!
Behind her. There's nobody behind her. She's just dumped that vehicle, a stolen Kia Soul, in the middle of the road, and now she is just going for a jog as if nothing ever happened. And without anybody in the vicinity, she could very well hide out easily if she found the right hiding spot here. But she's just going to jog up Compton Avenue here.
She went up Compton?
We're gonna follow.
Damn, she went straight to Compton.
They have an excellent.
She said they won't find me in Compton.
And get some law
I heard the Dr. Dre song.
To get this woman into custody. She is a real.
Is she wearing a jiu-jitsu outfit? And I believe that is that's possibly one of like
you know,
those jiu-jitsu shirts. I don't know if she's wearing an outfit because her pants have regular belt holes. So I don't think it's a whole outfit.
If we can see her,
but she might be wearing a top.
Oh, they're watching as well. Yeah. They're very identifiable with the white pants and the jersey shirt or whatever that is. And then she's not gonna run too fast. I mean, she's already kind of getting gassed, so you could tell
straight out of practice.
That's the ironic thing about it. She thinks she's just. What is she trying to do here?
Hitchhiking.
Stop.
A hitchhiking.
He said stop.
Come on.
He says stop.
This is unbelievable. This is out of control. I mean, what is she going to do?
He
says
no
idea how many eyes are on her. She thinks she's going for a Friday afternoon stroll down Compton Avenue. She's about to be rudely awakened here. If she continues, if she tries to hitchhike,
she needs to get more laps in 100%.
This is going to take a much different turn. Look at her stopping traffic, trying to get a ride, looking at her hands, trying to beg for a ride as she continues walking up Compton. This is unbelievable. This is incredible.
This might be a first to see a pursuit suspect
she just
get out of the
hitchhiking
car and then try to hitchhike.
Does she not hear the choppers?
Well, she's probably
she must.
She
must.
Multiple choppers but you know, I'm so fascinated to see if law enforcement decides to pick this person up, or is she just going to walk and walk and walk? Where is she from? What's her story? We just don't know.
Well, she's had plenty of opportunities to hide. She could easily find private property where she could hide. She's not making any attempt to hide.
Yeah, but
she's
the
sticking with the
sidewalk
sidewalk here. Just trying to. I mean, who knows where I doubt she knows where she is, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. But she's really looking for a ride. I mean, she's desperate for a ride, and I just don't think she understands how many eyes are on her. But she is still continuing to try and wave down other motorists.
She's trying to hitchhike.
It's not going to be long. I know it seems like it's taking forever,
Cops
but
taking
there
their
are
time.
officers.
Even he said it. He said, I know it feels like it's taking forever. The cops are on their way.
On the way over here, and it seems like it's, you know, we're mere seconds or minutes away from somebody pulling up here with lights and sirens flashing. But right now,
and those people there, I wonder if they know what's happening.
We have seen signs that there are people watching this, and we saw a couple of guys just a few minutes ago on an intersection that saw her going by and clearly, you know, physically, you know, waved and were excited about that. Those folks on that balcony might have been watching this as well, knowing that she's coming their way. So this has become a little bit of something. So there are a number of folks out there that are watching this pursuit.
Yeah, LAPD has units on the way. So LAPD Southeast.
We're on the way, boys.
Are actually making.
Or they just chilling.
Like I said a minute ago,
bro, we were making jokes about it earlier. They're ordering lunch.
On ABC.
They're like, come on, man. We got the burgers coming. We got the nuggies on their way.
As she continues to hustle.
All right, who's gonna be the one to go get lunch?
Street, she's got the phone still in her hand.
I think so. We'll be there in about 20 minutes, guys.
She starts to pick up the pace once again here down Compton Avenue, and again, not venturing into any private property. She's sticking with a public sidewalk, which tells me that she's not really making a big effort to hide. She's had plenty of opportunities to hide in a way that we would never find her, and law enforcement would lose track of her. That's not the situation here. But what I am curious to see is, as this pursuit starts to go viral on the internet, at what point do we start to see other people?
Look,
there's somebody right there with a phone.
They're shooting the recording here.
Just as I was saying that,
they're like, "Hey, yo, there's that crazy lady right here in the house."
Well aware of this woman who is just walking through the neighborhood, and they know she's up to no good. So this is now public knowledge. I'm sorry.
Oh, the lady, is that a parking garage? Oh no, it's a.
She is now in an apartment.
It's an apartment complex.
Looks like a parking. Yeah, these are two apartment buildings. She's in
random fans getting to the scene faster than cop.
With eyes on her here, we'll see if she.
She might have ducked in.
She might have walked into one of these parking garages.
Yeah.
One of these carports. I don't think she came out the other side. They lost her. They lost her inside, in between these two apartment buildings.
She could have knocked on someone's door, right?
She might just be hanging out in the shade. That's a parking garage right there. So she might be hanging in there. They're all watching
look at these
her.
people. See, these people know exactly who she is.
Oh yeah, they're all.
And everybody is watching on their phone.
The kid's like, "Hey, yo, the cops are here. What's happening?"
But she is somewhere in this vicinity, and they are now in a position. Now that she's on foot, they should be able to lock down this apartment complex, or at least this one square block. However, it's been at least 5 minutes. Maybe I'm losing track of time. Maybe even more, and we still see no sign of LAPD.
Probably
we
more.
know they're on the way, but right now, no sign of LAPD. As this woman has more and more time to hide, whether she's just getting some shade or taking a rest, like you said, David. Good possibility there. She could just take a breather inside the carport undercover and wait this out.
She could be hiding under a car, and we don't know what the strategy is for law enforcement. They may know who she is. A lot we don't know yet.
Well, behavior alone,
I doubt
she's still a threat. She could be dangerous, and now she's hanging out in this property here. We don't know where
giving
she is.
David
Viz
Viz
somebody's
props.
place. And there's a CHP helicopter that's been watching her as well. They know where she is. There's an approximation at least, and from that they could track her down. But to state the obvious, the good news is she jumped out of the car. That's when she was the most dangerous.
That's when
far
she was
less
most
dangerous now.
Right, exactly right. I don't think they know who she is, because for all of this pursuit, they've been referring to her as a he. Okay. And so I think they were just as surprised when she stepped out of the vehicle. Again, this was a stolen vehicle, a stolen Kia Soul. Not sure where it was stolen.
She's going to be hiding in there.
But her actions here, well, you're right, David. I mean, she's really, now that car is abandoned, she is not a threat, not as much of a threat anyways, as she was earlier. And now there is a belief that she is indeed hiding out in that carport, likely the one on the right there. But
sexism, women can be criminals too.
And she is somewhere
man.
Yeah, and it's possible that all of these pedestrians we're seeing are calling 911 and letting authorities know that she is at that property.
Is this guy talking to somebody? I don't see anybody he's talking to. Is it possible that somebody's over there?
He's talking to somebody.
He's talking to somebody.
He's talking to somebody.
For her.
Oh, maybe he's just talking into his phone while he's looking for her.
Got it. Yeah, we're going to try and come around the other side here, see who's on the other side of that fence.
Who's he talking to?
Somebody. I don't know if it's her, but he was talking to somebody near that dumpster. And who knows at this point if she's, I mean, it's just impossible to see. We can't tell, exactly where she is.
That's Ashy Larry.
He appeared to be communicating with somebody behind that fence.
Yeah. Well, this has really been a fascinating pursuit. I mean, we took it with some question
front of the building. All right, somebody's got eyes on her in the front of the building. That's going to be the California Highway Patrol helicopter who has made eyes
on the
suspect.
Could
she has apparently changed clothes.
Yeah,
she's changed clothes. Oh, same clothes. Sorry, I'm sorry. Same clothes. She's in the same. I'm sorry. I'm getting conflicting information. She's in the same clothes now.
Oh, terrible.
And hopefully we'll catch a glimpse of her here on the front of the building. Look at the crowd that's starting to gather here. There's somebody with their phone out. She's in a doorway.
Ooh, they know.
Are they pointing at something?
People are pointing at her.
There's the one neighbor we don't know.
Or are they trying to get the attention of the
no sign of any law enforcement here. I just have to reiterate what we're watching here.
He seems so surprised. He's like, hey, by the way, there's no fucking cops out here. By the way, I'm just letting y'all know, it's been like 20 minutes, not a single fucking cop.
Is going on I'm closer to 10 minutes now, where there is no sign of law enforcement. We heard that LAPD Southeast units were on the way out here, but quite frankly, guys, I can't tell you I'd be surprised if they just
cops straight up are
useless. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
wow, he said I wouldn't be surprised they abandoned this.
They are very quick to let these go. If there's not an immediate danger to the public.
And but we don't know that.
They don't give a fuck.
We don't know that, but they have
aside from people
coming in,
pulling people over for like going 5 miles over the limit.
If a woman who's no longer in that stolen vehicle is just walking around South LA, it becomes a here they come.
So he was talking shit about them. He's like, there's no cops around here. They're pretty quick to let this go if they're not a danger to anybody. The cops are busy. They get other calls. Oh, shit, they're here. Oh, yeah.
LAPD Southeast units. I'm sorry, Highway Patrol and LAPD. LAPD and CHP. Two separate black and whites now pulling up to this apartment building. And if they can get eyes on her, they'll be in a better position here. Otherwise, they're going to need more units to lock down this area.
More units.
And try and corner her, but at least there are units here. CHP and LAPD both responding out here to the end of this pursuit.
But look at how casually everyone else is walking around. That makes me a little nervous. I don't know.
Hopefully they can help direct them to where they think she is. I just kind of, I kind of think that she still should be seen as a threat because when it comes to her behavior during the driving and also,
bro, she didn't give a shit.
Who knows what her mental state is, and if she's now trying to hang out in somebody's private property, trying to hide out,
she didn't care.
So he's going to go check this out.
She did not give a shit if she hit a car.
He's moving a little quicker.
Maybe killed somebody.
Sees something. Maybe he doesn't. He's definitely spoken to a few witnesses down there, and now you see that CHP officer heading back down that alleyway in the same direction that we were trying to find her earlier. So somewhere in between these buildings here, somebody has made eyes on her, and as far as we could tell, she hasn't moved over to a different property. I think she's probably still hiding out near this parking garage. I imagine if we stay here long enough, this officer will eventually bring her back out to the street.
Dude, this is why you can't do this in the hood.
You see the crowd here. Everybody over here seems to be well aware of who she is just based on what they're seeing on their phones and online.
Yeah. I'm just so curious to see where she is, or if she actually was able to get into somebody's home from underneath there. And there's probably a lot of places that she could be hiding as well.
No, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hiding spots here. She is on private property, so, she is trespassing.
Yeah, she is.
Again, when we talk about those petty crimes, was that the officer?
She took your advice.
He was looking around the back of the other building.
He's looking around.
She took off running and then walked into this apartment complex.
Most of, when you talk about some of the, all of
and then it took the cops like 15 minutes to get there.
Charge. I mean, these are all relatively misdemeanors.
The reporter was roasted him
of the automobile. But other than
he was
that,
like, guys,
it's going to be probably a.
I thought it was a guy. No, it was a woman.
At the end of the day, but right now you can see
it was a lady.
Officer in front, a CHP officer in the back. They are
sexism. Women can be criminals too.
Yeah, this could
Women's can be criminals.
So I don't know if there are other units showing up or if it's going to be left to these two officers to kind of assess and get out. But I hope everybody in that apartment building can at least assess their own property so they know that she's not intruding on them, because there's law enforcement right there that can help out if she is.
All right, so I'm being told
she got away.
That CHP may have her. The officer, the CHP officer.
You jinxed it, my lady. No.
Whether he has the right person is yet to be, yet to be seen here. Nope. There he is. He's coming back out empty-handed here. So. We had heard a report that CHP
he's coming out empty-handed.
Possibly had somebody in custody, but now you can see him coming around the building here, talking into his radio. He's got his hand on his weapon, and still trying to find her. Now, perhaps, possibly inside this building.
Oh,
additional
he's running in.
CHP officers running in there now.
Okay.
Private security, LAPD, CHP, all walking through that doorway. Maybe they have eyes on her, but we did have a report just a few seconds ago that CHP possibly had somebody in custody.
Okay, so this is coming close. I guess it's reassuring to see that they are quickly moving, so that it looks like that they at least know an approximation of where she might be. Somebody might have told them where she is, and then so they're quickly running to where that is.
This made this neighborhood's entire week.
More LAPD units pulling in here. You can see them continue.
Hey guys, I heard there was an unarmed criminal on the loose.
Again, I want to just kind of caution. Even though we have a report that somebody's in custody, many of these situations sometimes end up with a mistaken identity because the officers on the ground don't have as clear a description as we do. We've been watching her for the last however many minutes, so we know exactly what she looks like. But those officers on the ground may, maybe rounding up some people who they have, a suspicion of, but not positive identity. So we'll see. They may have somebody in custody. We'll see if it's the right woman, presumably inside the building, as we've seen now a number of officers.
Well, it can't be that hard.
Yeah, and perhaps the local security guard. I think you mentioned.
I mean, a white woman, white pants.
There was somebody in a white shirt that looked like
in
security.
In fucking in Compton.
And several CHP officers. So I'm getting more reports that we are getting confirmation now. Somebody.
People don't really wear white pants in the hood.
Find out here in short order.
You get those dirty really fast.
The right suspect, but somebody is being taken into custody.
No.
And obviously authorities don't believe that she is dangerous, maybe that she's not armed, because they're allowing people to walk around. They're not establishing a perimeter to protect.
Why wouldn't they believe she's dangerous?
Stand back. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying.
I hear you. I hear you. I think they want to keep the crowd back for sure. They obviously have a better idea now. They're focusing on that doorway. So
the crowd is largely.
I'm sure they are keeping people away. We don't see that crime scene being established just yet. But at the end of the day, again, they're gonna, if they do indeed find her, it won't exactly be a large crime scene. They will take her into custody and figure out what the situation is. But they are calling in for backup.
I agree. They're just going in real sloppy, like
things go sideways. Absolutely, Giovanna.
Free that woman.
Hear from everything we're hearing that somebody is being taken into custody, and now you
can see
that LAPD officer in a much more relaxed stance.
And now they're fucking. Hey, I want a kid.
Residents coming out.
Who is that kid?
A lot of
you
commotion.
Like the cops?
You have a number of helicopters overhead, a number of law enforcement vehicles surrounding the building, and so any second now, I think we'll have our answer. But it does indeed seem like they do indeed.
I want to see the mugshot.
All right, so
well, they got her.
We're debating on whether to stay with this and get and see the moment they pull her out, or we need to move on to other news. Here come some more officers.
Are you still with me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, we're getting some more information from our assignment desk that they are giving the code 4. So the suspect is in custody. They are on the second floor of that apartment building.
Interesting.
But they are calling for an ambulance.
Okay.
So the condition of that suspect is now very much in question. What happened on that second floor? Again,
what? They're calling for an ambulance. Come to my apartment building. Holy shit, they fucked her up. Yeah, she's on the second floor laid out. Whoa.
Pretty much in question as the suspect appears to require immediate medical attention. They are waiting for that ambulance now. That explains the delay here.
Holy
Units
shit.
are now converging on the second floor of that building right there, but they do have confirmation that
told
that
you don't do that in the
is indeed in custody. They have issued the code 4, just waiting for an ambulance.
Right.
Okay.
So some unanswered questions.
Thank
Maybe
you.
she penetrated somebody's apartment, but we'll find out as
Oh,
we wait
man.
there. And I think what we're going to do is move on to another.
She definitely just passed out from that short one. Tell my family I love them. Yeah.